What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to episode 84, the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zerly, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And today I've got the Discord up. I want to do a little quick shout out to Kev Manion, who did a fantastic job on his Disco Era Enterprise. He did just a fantastic job with it, and it looks exactly like my build. So quick shout out to him. But this place, I'm telling you, this Discord channel is going to be a great resource for you, not only to be able to showcase your builds and meet new people within the community, but also, as you can see, if you're having trouble, you can post questions, and I can see exactly what you're working on and give you suggestions on what you could possibly do to make your build either come out better or fix the issue that you might be having trouble with. But anyway, yeah, definitely be sure to check out the Discord, and I'll have a link in the description below. But bear in mind, the Discord channel is fairly new. I haven't even had it up a month yet, so I'm still working on building up the community and trying to get a lot of the YouTube community into the Discord channel, so this way we can continue to build that community up. So definitely check that out. And of course, you know, if you can, take a moment and share this video with your friends or anybody that likes shipbuilding, because as we reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a tutorial on the 2016 Star Trek Beyond Enterprise A. So I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, immediately following the Enterprise D build, we're going to be doing Voyager. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today we've got about a 17-minute episode, and we're going to be working on a little bit more of the exterior portion of the bridge, so that this way we can get some of some last-minute detailing done, and not only that, but also I actually lost my train of thought on that. What I meant to say is that we're making some exterior changes on here, so this way, because you're probably going to be noticing that we're going to be making some of this area out here a little bit bigger. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to have to mess with the bridge a little bit more, make that a little bit bigger here and there. And I figured the easiest way to do that is just to make the surrounding area just a little bit bigger. So what you can see is this row right here. We just added another row on top of this second row here. But we're going to end up bringing this going all the way around. And very, very simple. We're just going to be following the cut line going around our oval. So if you get up to the edge, just like I did there, you're going to want to make sure to bring that back by 1, because you want to follow your cut lines. This way you have a 1 block gap directly in front of the row that you're working with. But again, one of the main reasons that I'm making this change is because I noticed that when the area that I had to work with on the Enterprise D on the interior, as far as the bridge goes, I wasn't going to have the room that I was hoping that I would have to flesh out all the rooms that I wanted to have on the bridge deck. Namely, the captain's ready room, as well as the officer's conference room. These are very important parts of TNG, so I really wanted to make a point to get them in here. But with that being said, this is going to be the only part of the build where some slight exceptions have to be made, because and I've talked about this a little bit in the past, that when I build my ships out, one of the things that I do to help my ships with the sizing is that I proportion the saucer to the lower hull, to the engines, to the bridge. Everything's proportioned off of each other, and when you start looking at the different sizes, this can help you get your scaling right of your ship, regardless of the size you're trying to build. And long story short, when I built this thing, it's obviously scaled down from a full-size Galaxy class ship, so it looks bigger on the outside than it actually is. So what ended up happening is that the bridge looks huge on the outside, but when we get on the inside, we don't have as much room as you think that we'd have. And the problem that we're going to have is making this area bigger. It's going to give us problems, basically, to where we're not going to it's not going to be in proportion to the rest of the ship, because this area right here, we're already basically pushing it to where we've pretty much have reached the maximum size, about the maximum size that it can be. we really can't make it that much bigger than it currently is. And in doing so, making it bigger, we run the risk of not only the ship not staying true to how it should look for a Galaxy class ship, but then it's going to start messing with our proportions a little bit. Now you can see that I'm starting to fill in my gaps here within my new rows of half slabs I added on the lower level, and then up here, you're going to be filling all this in. I'm not going to be doing all of this on camera, but you're going to want to make sure that you do both this level. You're going to want to fill in that gap with this new row of half slabs, and then this row here, you're going to bring it all the way in. All right, so now we've skipped ahead to where that's completed. Now it looks nice and clean. Maybe the only other thing that we can maybe do is right along here, this line here, maybe we can add another row of half slabs to kind of like cut that line down just a little bit. That could end up being a thing, but if we do that, then we kind of got to mess with our outline here just a little bit more. Now we're going to be coming to the next oval out where we have our white row concrete, and we're going to be doing another row on top of that with half slabs. And same thing, same exact process that we followed before, doing a row of half slabs following our cut line. As long as you're doing this, you can't make any mistakes. This is one of the reasons why I have this as my rule with going with the cut. It helps you develop a cleaner build, and it also can help you save yourself from making mistakes, or at least that I've found anyway. This isn't something that I say that everybody has to do. I think to each his own. I personally just think that this is a cleaner look when it comes to building. I don't really know of anybody else that uses this same exact technique when it's come to building. This is just something that I've developed over the past 10 years of building on Minecraft, where it's like, like this is kind of the way to go. This is why I say, you have to carry over your patterns, and you follow the cut line. That's your main pattern that you go with, regardless of the configuration that it's in. You can definitely save yourself from not only making mistakes, but also give you kind of a guideline of the direction that you need to go in, if you're not sure exactly what you need to do. So you see, I obviously need to clean that corner up here just a little bit, because since we're adding in another layer here, we're going to have to do the same thing on this side now. We're going to lose this line going up here, this straight line, but that's not really a big deal. This is just going to be one of those things that we're going to hit, especially when you're building a custom ship, brand new for the first time, never done it before. There's going to be a trial and error period, and even if you have done it before, like in what I've done in the past, like Constitution classes, that's probably the ship that I've done the most building with. There's still going to be things that you change about it. So just kind of roll with the punches on that, and be willing to experiment. This is something else that I talk about. Definitely make extra save files of your build. Be willing to try out new things, because I can't tell you how many times when I'm not sure of what I want to do, just experimenting 9 times out of 10, well, if not 10 times out of 10, I always eventually fall on where I need to fall, but sometimes it can take a little bit of a trial and error period just to get to that point. But the willingness to experiment helps you develop your build a lot more, to where if you just settle on it the first time and you're not happy with it, because if you're not happy with it, chances are, if you're either just doing a build for fun or you're working on a YouTube channel like I am, if you're not happy with it, other people aren't going to be happy with it either. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. So right now I'm just kind of zooming out, and I'm looking at that next layer. I'm trying to envision all of this filled in, how that would look, and I think it looks a little bit better. It definitely does, because we're not trying to add in massive layers up here, because if you look at a model of the Enterprise, this is kind of subtle how this layering process and these different levels here, as far as the angle that it goes up. Like you're not really wanting like a 10 tall skyscraper sitting on top of your saucer. Like that's not the way to go. That's why I say do it, one step at a time. Be subtle about it and be patient, just like we're doing right now, because what we're looking for is what the build basically needs in order to facilitate the additions that we've made to our main bridge. Now we are going to be messing with, I believe, the bridge later on in today's episode. Um, we're going to be making an edit to the front of it, and then I think later on, if not this week, next week we'll be adding, making an adjustment to the back of it. Okay, now we're going to be adding another layer. But doing this, once we get up to the front here, we're going to have to make some changes. So it's this row right here, and this is where I was talking about. But this is okay. We can fix this, and I will show you how to do that. And it all goes into following your cut line. So the first thing to do is just finish what we started. Let's do this row going all the way around. It's scary. It's almost like I talked about all that stuff on purpose just to hit this point, isn't it? No, but seriously, this is going to be a great opportunity here to really showcase what I mean by following your cut lines, because we're going to cheat 110%. And what I mean by that is, rather than going to the pixel circle generator again and trying to go through the headache of generating a slightly larger oval in the front to facilitate the change that we want to make in the front, we're just going to use another building technique, and we're going to use our cut line basically to reshape the very front of this area here that's now out of proportion. So now we're going to go one row down, and we're again going to go with the cut line with our half slabs. These two rows, or the next row down, is going to be a little bit funky, but we're going to fix that. So again, now we're going one more row down with the cut line. Literally, all we're looking at is the lines here. And this is kind of showing you what you need to do and what's out of place if we're going by a pattern of half slabs. Gotta get rid of that row and add a block right there. There we go. Now we're looking good. And now again, we've gone a row down. We're just going to repeat that same process again. So rather than using the pixel circle generator, we've completely bypassed it in favor of just using the cut technique. And you can't tell that we made that change. It looks great. I think going with the half slab cut line as opposed to the full block, at least down at the base of this top oval here, looks a lot better than what we had before. It looks pretty good. Nice and clean. I know the outside of the ship is still very white. We really haven't done any of the detailing. That's going to be stuff that's going to come later on. It's crazy that we're already on episode 84. And I said this before, that this is going to be a long tutorial series. There's just no way around it that when you're working with a ship of this scale, that we're going to be going into the highest episode count that we ever have for any of the tutorials that I've done in the past. And I'm happy to do it because when this thing is all said and done, this thing's going to be a monster, and I'm already proud of it, and I'm not even done with it yet. So hopefully, those of you that have found my channel and have been looking for a way to build the Enterprise D, I really hope that you enjoy this series, because I'm really offering you a platter of content on things that you can do, because you'll never hear me say that, oh, this is the way you have to do it. This is just honestly what I did to build my Enterprise D. And you're more than welcome to copy this down to the T, or use it as a loose reference to give you ideas on things that you can do too, because there's really no wrong way of building this thing. Now you're going to notice that I'm only adding another row of white concrete on the back side here, And I'm going to show you where to stop is right when we get to the straight line, basically at the middle. Yeah, this middle part right here, that's where we're going to stop it. Now we're going to go back in, and we're going to take out the inner row of the white concrete. Because basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to make the bridge area ever so slightly bigger without really making it that much bigger. And also trying to maintain the template pattern for what I had in place. So now what we're going to do is all these half slabs now, kind of backtracking a little bit, but it's going to be necessary to give us that extra room here. We're going to have to go in and delete all these half slabs, not going all the way around, just the backside in between where we added the extra row of the white concrete. Because it's weird with this, like originally I had intended the whole bridge area to be actually built into this lower oval here, but I didn't have as much room as I hoped I'd have, because that area basically ended up being the primary shuttle bay, and I didn't want to sacrifice the scale of the primary shuttle bay because that's going to be one of the wow factors on this build. Because that's going to be one of the things that we're going to notice that's going to be different from the Enterprise D as opposed to the other builds that I've done in the past, that this ship's going to be a lot bigger. And not only on the outside, but also on the inside. You're really going to get that scale of the Enterprise D, which would be really cool. All right, so now we're going to be doing that, following the same process that we just did for the back, but now the front, we'll be adding an extra row. We're only going to be going right up until we get to that straight line on the sides. We're not going to be messing with the sides at this point. Or I should say this is the back side here. Yeah. So on the back side, I stood corrected. I apologize. I actually got miscombobulated there for a second. We added one more row of white concrete going all the way around, followed the same step that we just did, and then went back again and deleted the row that was behind it previously. So we essentially moved that row of white concrete back by 2, but keeping the same pattern that we had. Alright, looking pretty good, and now it's just a matter of replacing what we had deleted. But there's still going to be a lot of cool stuff to show in this build series. I'm going to be doing something different and special for the Enterprise D that I haven't done for any of my other builds in the past. I'm going to be fleshing out a full holodeck, and if you're on my Discord, I showed you a light teaser of it, but it doesn't reflect what the finished holodeck will be. The picture that I posted is still in the very early stages, but it's going to be in reference of the big goodbye from the Dixon Hill holodeck series that Picard used to do on Next Generation. I thought that would be very fitting, and one of the other reasons I honestly did it was because, you know, I've got a massive amount of room on my Enterprise D, and I really wanted, I thought that this would just be an opportunity to take up some of that room and have another just over-the-top area on this ship, because you're going to notice this with several different areas on the ship, just these massive rooms. And the crazy part about it is that we're still going to have plenty of room to work with, because that's one of the things that's hasn't been super hard on this build, but it has been a challenge figuring out, okay, what are you going to add on the interior? Because a lot of the normal rooms that you'd see on Next Generation, they're fairly small rooms, you know? So that's definitely a challenge that I've had with this tutorial series, and we really haven't gone into it too much right now, but as we go and we get more into focusing on the interior, you'll see exactly what I mean. we've started on it a little bit here and there, working on the primary shuttle bay and then also the aquarium slash mall. With even that, we're not even done with the mall yet. We really have only built out the shell of it. We haven't actually fleshed out any of the mall shops or anything like that. So that stuff's going to be coming, and that'll be really cool. But there's still a lot of stuff yet to do. So which brings me to, if there's any build or any specific areas that you would like to see me incorporate on my Enterprise D that I haven't mentioned, please be sure to drop a comment below in the comments section. I do read all the comments, even if I don't get a chance to reply to every single one of them. I do make a point to read all the comments to see what people want to see me do. And you can also post your build suggestions in Discord too. Now, see, that shape right there actually does not look too bad. But if I'm not mistaken, I think even the size that we have it at now, I think I end up having to bring it back just a little bit more. And like I said, it's not necessarily a position I want to be in here because the bridge is already massive as it is. But it's just going to be the way it is. You'll see what I mean once we actually get into the interior of building out the bridge itself and the rooms that go with it. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up today. And I just want to thank everybody again for tuning in today's episode. And of course, don't forget, you can always catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. And of course, the holiday week is coming up, but I'm not taking any breaks this week because I had just actually gone on vacation just 2 weeks ago. So I'll be having videos coming up this Christmas week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we'll keep this thing going until we get done with it. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me today. I just want to thank everybody again for tuning in today's episode. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to join the Discord channel. And of course, what did you build in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know on Discord. All right, I hope